Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe this channel. Washington Federal Reserve official convened on Tuesday for the next policy meeting after an unusually long 8-week break since their last gathering and a larger than normal amount of U.S. economic data to review. The interlude has been less clear than tumbling. Inflation showed no sign of abating. Rather than gaining insight on their engine, U.S. Central Bank officials acknowledged the fight may be long and painful. For now, it appears the Fed will raise interest rates by 3/4 of percentage points next week, although the release on Tuesday of higher than expected consumer price data introduced a measure of uncertainty to that outlook to the high side. What comes after the next meeting is up for grabs. New economic projection to be released alongside the September 21 policy statement will give an indication of what policymakers think will happen, but their track record of late has not been good. Fed officials got a jolt in June when inflation rose faster than expected, then a reprieve in July when the annual pace of price increases slowed. But any since the worst was evaporated in August, so falling gasoline price helped ease overall inflation by a bit. The decline was modest, and underneath its wide variety of core prices unexpectedly increased. The consumer price index rose at annual pace of 8.3% last month, excluding the volatile food and energy components. It registered 6.3%, although inflation keeps moving sideways despite the Fed's last set of rate hikes since the early 1980s for inflation to fall from its current annual pace to something near the Fed's 2% target. The month-to-month increase will have to average around 0.2%, about a third of what it has been averaging since the start of 2021. Most sobering, the mechanics aren't working as expected, or at least not as fast. Officials thought good prices would fall as supply chains improved and offset an anticipated rise in service costs as people began traveling, going out to eat, and catching up on types of spending limited during the COVID-19 pandemic. Service inflation has picked up. Good prices have not hit the cliff yet, however, and in fact rose in August. And more pain may be on the way. In recent weeks, Fed officials have pointed raising rents is likely keeping inflation high for the time being, and continued wage growth, particularly relevant to repairs in the labor-intensive service sector, is a concern as well. Not all the inflation news was for the worst. Closely matched measures of households' expectation, which the Fed feels can both influence the future behavior of prices and see as a sign of whether its promise to control inflation has credibility turned in the central bank's direction. A surprise rise in the inflation survey in June had helped push the Fed toward rising rates in larger three-quarter percentage points increases. Producer price declined for the second month in a row, and while that was driven by falling gas and energy costs. It is a trend some economists feel will stick and eventually fed into what consumers are charged. The index, for example, includes measures that affect business margins or profits for things like automobiles that are eventually expected to fall sharply. The two full months of fresh data since the Fed's July meeting have not been all bad. In that late August revision to estimates of gross domestic product and gross domestic income for the first half of the year, as said concerns about a developing recession, GDP still shrunk, but by less than initially estimated. The income measures another way to track the economy's speed continue to grow. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.